I hear a lot of other people on YouTube. There's something that some people say to themselves. They say something like, a blank canvas scares the shit out of me. To me, a blank canvas, a blank paper, a blank project where I'm about to create music or let something happen on its own. I'm just a vessel that's making it happen. But I don't understand when people say that, because a blank canvas, a blank paper, a blank project, a blank anything that has nothing there, that means that I can put something there. That means that I can create something. That means that it's right there for me to put the ink to the paper. It's right there for me to put what I want to put on there. It's right there for me to draw something. It's right there for me to make music, for me to make art, for me to express myself, for me to write a book, for me to make a video. Every time that I go into something and it's empty, there's nothing there. That's what I want. That's what I was going to say desire, but I don't want to use the word desire. That's not the right word. That is what is amazing about there being nothing there but the thing that you're going to put something on. That's the amazing thing about it. That's what makes it so extraordinary, is that every time I get on my drum machine, I press, it says empty project. Every time I see that button, I get excited. I get hyped up because I realize it's empty. I can put any drum kit in the project. I can put any sound in the project. When I have a blank piece of paper, I can write my thoughts out, the game of thought that I talked about. I can write my feelings. I can write just anything that comes to my mind. Anything that's going on up in here, I can put down on the paper. I can put down with music. I can put down with instruments. I can put down with expression. I can put down while I'm in this life. And look, why am I telling you this? Because we all know that we're going to live and die here. We all know the way that a lot of things are. But when I'm asking all of us, what are we doing until the day that we will be here no more? What are we doing in the meantime of things? How are we thinking in the meantime? What are we going to leave here for the other people that will be here, for them to remember, for them to see, for them to know? Because whether we know it or not, this generation is determining the next generation and the next generation, even though they have to do it the way that they're going to do it. It's still, everybody is kind of an example to one another. All of us are kind of like, we learn from every little thing that goes on, every little experience, every little topic, every little thing with agriculture, history, music, art, writing, all the arts, psychology. It's just, we learn things, but a lot of people are not putting this into action. We're just sitting back and discussing and talking about the same stuff over and over. It's like, if we would get the thought in our mind, if we would think different, like if we would think, every time I see that blank canvas, every time I have a blank project, every time I have a blank piece of paper, every time I go onto YouTube and I can upload a video that I made. Every time I press the record button, it's something new. It's something that has not been done before. And I think that's the whole brilliance in having a blank canvas. Like people say, this scares the shit out of me. No, that's because you're telling yourself, I'm scared because I don't know what to do. See, if it's not in you, see, here's the thing though, and this is going to be something very hard for some people to hear. If it's not in you to do, then it's not in you to do. You know, if art is not your thing, there is something in this world that is for you. There is something that is for you. And what I'm telling people is find something here. You know, find a craft, find some kind of thing that you revel in, or you're interested in, or you have a passion for. Do that thing above all else. Your needs is first above everything, but then after your needs, what is the other thing? Like, we have to have something while we're here. It's find that thing, find that something while you're here. Life is for living. Death is for dying. We're not dead yet. We are alive. We are here, living now. I mean, what do we want to be miserable the rest of our lives? Do we want to think about and resonate on things that are not doing anything for us but keeping us down and out, that are keeping us in these situations we're in? I mean, insanity means that you're doing the same things over and over and you're not changing anything. I understand some things in life are insane. You know, we have to eat every day. We gotta piss. We gotta take a crap every day. We have to brush our teeth. We have to get a shower when need be. Now, some of these things is not every day. I don't take a shower every single day. I mean, I think it's just too much when people put soap on their skin every day and wash their hair every day. It's too much. I'm talking about most things. To keep up with your hygiene. But we have to sleep every day. We have to go to the store every couple days or whatever. We already know that these things are insane. We already know that we got to do these things. But besides those things, in our spare time, what are we doing in our spare time? How are we thinking in our spare time? You see, we already know that a lot of things are the way they are, and they're going to keep being that way for most things. Let them be the way that they are. Let people do what people do. Let them live the life they're living, because most people, they're not going to change. They're going to stay in the same place. They don't want to do anything but stay stuck where they're at, because that's all they want to know. They don't want to know anything else. They just want to know their situation. They want people to blame, and they want to point the finger at the world and say it's everybody's fault. Let them people be that way. Let them stay that way. They can stay like that. You don't have to stay that way. You don't have to be like them. You don't have to think like them out there. And it's sorry that I even have to say they, because really it's a me thing. It's a self-reflecting thing. It really doesn't even have anything to do with other people, but we use they, them, the world, other people, and I say this because I know how we are as people. I know how people are. I know how men respond to things. I know how the world operates. I know all these things. It's like when you know, you know. It's like you've been there and you've done it a million and one times before. Um, and you reach this point of critical mass where you say, okay, I've been there and done this. I've seen this before. It's You go through that stage over and 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 over. And I mean, it's just over and over and over and over. It just keeps going and going. And you realize the insanity of it. And you say, you know what? I'm done. I give up, I'm done, I surrender. And then you start doing something like an art or a craft or something to distract you from this insanity that you keep telling yourself over and over again. And then you would say, oh, well, art is insanity. No, art is not insanity. It's something different every time. That's why I love art. That's why I love crafts. That's why I love the craft. That's why I love all the arts, because it's something different every time. Every time you do it, it's something different. And every single person is their own artist. They just don't know where they belong. They just don't know what it is that catches fire within themselves to light the fire with under their own asses. And sometimes it takes other things, other people. It takes learning a lot of stuff to do that. And some people think that they fit in somewhere where they don't fit in, and they're trying to fit into that place. If you're trying to fit in somewhere, you know that that is not the place for you. If it's something that you like, if it's something you resonate with, if it's something you're passionate for, if it's something that gets you excited, if it's something that you say, my goodness, this is absolutely amazing, or it's something you marvel in. It's a mystery, a mystique that keeps you going, that keeps you interested, that keeps you wanting to learn, wanting to gain more knowledge. That is the only thing that matters in your spare time along with your needs. That's all that matters in this life. Everything else is just a waste of time. Everything else is just playing tricks with you and I. Everything else is just keeping us stuck in this stuck mentality. Everything else is just pulverizing the little bit of life that we do have here. We all know that we're going to the grave. We all know that we're going to die. We all know that the world does what it does. We all know that people are doing what they're doing to themselves. We all know that things happen. We all know all of this stuff. But what are we doing in the meantime? What are we doing until the day that we die? That's the question. That's the question that remains, and that is the question that most people don't even ask themselves because they're so caught up on all of this irrelevant stuff that they're wasting their time with. And I think that time is precious here. You know, life is both, when you understand that life is both a gift and a curse, that's when you'll understand yourself, is when you can say life is both a gift and a curse. But we don't have to play into the curse. You see, we don't have to make ourselves sick. We don't have to follow the things that are keeping us down. We don't have to listen to the people that are absolutely negative about everything. We don't have to keep listening to those people. We don't have to keep putting ourselves there. And this only comes by actually asking questions and digging into things for yourself and realizing many times over and over and over and over and over and over again. And even people like Eckhart Tolle, Osho, a lot of these people that called themselves spiritual people or just people. I'm just going to say people. The ones that have the most knowledge, the ones that people look up to or say, oh, well, what's going on with you that I don't know? The thing that's going on with them is they learned so much. They got into knowledge so much. They asked so many questions that they almost or they did lose their mind. And I know it happened for me. I lost my mind at one time. I literally went insane. I lost my mind. And it is the best thing that I ever did, because when you lose yourself, when you die before you die, you realize that there's nothing to lose. There's nothing to lose here anyway. We're going to lose in the end anyway. So lose with dignity. This whole thing is actually like a preparation for death. Like some other channel said that I watched. He said, life is a preparation for death. And I'll agree with that. Life is a preparation for death. I am preparing for eternity. Even if there is or isn't eternity, I don't care. I'm preparing for it anyway, because what if there is something else? I'm just saying, what if? What if you would think like that, even if it isn't true, even if it doesn't happen? What are you doing now to prepare for your eternity? What are you doing now to prepare for your life? What are you doing now until your death? That's the question. That's the question that we all need to be asking ourselves. And I say we need to be asking ourselves because, yes, we are stuck here. We are trapped in this world. We are trapped amongst each other here. That's the way that it is. That's the way that it is. So, okay, what are we going to do about the current situation? What are we going to do about things? What are we going to tell ourselves in the meantime? How are we going to act in the meantime? What are the things we're going to think about in the meantime? You see, do we ask ourselves these questions? Are we asking ourselves these questions, y'all? You know, that's all I can really say. Are we asking ourselves this? Because from what I'm seeing from a lot of different people is, I don't even hear this coming out of their mouth. I don't even hear this coming from their tongue, because whatever is in your metaphorical heart and in your mind, that is what you're going to speak. And I don't hear a lot of people speaking about this. So I say, well, if they're not speaking about it, then it's not on their mind. It's not on their metaphorical heart. It's not in the essence of their soul, their energy. See, soul is energy. That's what a soul means. It means, what is your energy? There's energy all around us all the time, whether we know that or not. Everything is constantly vibrating. Everything is constantly giving off, sound waves, is giving off a vibration. It's why things are shaped the way they're shaped. It's why trees are trees. It's why seashells are seashells. It's why it's the things we listen to is the way we are too. See, that's why I don't watch TV. I don't watch the news. I don't listen to the world and what they're saying. I don't read newspapers. I don't do none of that. I'm looking into things for myself. I'm researching for myself. I'm asking myself questions constantly. And I'm constantly surrendering myself every day unto this all, because it's all that I have. And until I die, that's what I'm going to do, because it's what I have to do. So if we're willing to ask this question to ourselves and we're willing to look within, what are we going to do till the day we die? That's the question we need to ask ourselves. Because if we keep thinking that, well, what's the point? What I'm just going to die anyway. You already know that. You already know all of that. So why get caught in the insanity of thinking, what's the point? What's the meaning? Why am I going to do anything? Then in the meantime, you're never going to do nothing. You're going to stay in your current situation. It just, that is insanity in thinking and of the mind. I know that life is repetitious. I know that life is monotonous. I understand all of that. But I refuse to let myself stay stuck. I refuse to bring myself to stoop to a certain level that everybody else stoops to just because everybody else is stooping to that level. I refuse to do that for myself. I won't do that to myself. And that's just where I am at. And I know that there is nothing else but right now. And right now, what are the things I'm thinking? What are the things I'm telling myself? How am I living? How am I projecting onto others things? Am I projecting that back to myself? These are the only things that matter in this life. And I don't know. I really don't have anything else to say but that. So it has to be, though, you've got to be willing to ask questions. You have to be kind of sick and tired of something. It has to be where you're in a point where it's like seasons. You're tired of being in the fall, so you want it to be spring, or you're tired of the wintry storm, so you want it to be sunny and shiny. It's this constant, you're like the seasons. You're constantly changing your thought, your thinking, because you realize your thoughts are just things messing with you anyway. Thoughts are just things that come. They're not reality. They're just thoughts. And when you realize this, you can say, okay, well, I'm not getting stuck on this today. I'm, thinking of something else. If I'm bored, then I'm going to do something. If I'm not happy, then I'm going to do something to make me happy. If I'm depressed, then I'm going to do something to not be that way and feel that way. Because you realize for yourself that it's all just a lie anyway. It's all just one big lie anyway. You're believing the lie every day, believing it, believing it, believing it. And this is why first thing I wake up, I surrender. I'm going to keep saying this because this is what I do all the time. Right when I get up, I go into prayer and I surrender myself. That's the very first thing I do. I surrender my thoughts. I lay me down. I give the burden to God. Even if there is or there isn't a God, I give it to Him. I give God the credit and glory. Whether you want to think it's the universe, whether you want to think it's God, whether you want to think that it's some energy or some consciousness that we can't explain, it doesn't matter to me if it's real or not. It's just a preparation for life and death. It's preparing myself every day. It's telling myself this. It's affirming how I want to be through the day. You understand? So once you understand this, I know for me it helps me. So I can't say that this will help you. I can't say that because I can't affirm anything else for another person. I can only affirm my own thinking, my own life, my own habits, my own thoughts, my own way of living. I can only affirm that for myself. And that's why I talk about it on here, because I need to constantly self-reflect on myself. I need to tell myself this every single day. I can't be in denial. I can't lie to myself. I got to call myself out when I can call myself out. I got to be willing to put it all on the line because I know it's all lost anyway. I can't win this game. I can't win this game, so I'm losing with dignity. I've already admitted, okay, this is how things are. Okay, now what? Now what's going to happen? I don't want to say what's the game plan because I'm not trying to make it anything. I'm letting it be what it is. I'm letting it happen. it's a form of letting go, a form of letting go and moving on and seeing something, then letting go, moving on, seeing something, letting go, moving on, because you realize you're heading to one place. But in the meantime, what are we doing for ourselves? That's all that matters here, is what are we doing to ourselves to accompany everything that is happening here? That's all that matters, is taking care of ourselves while we can. Because what do we want to be sick? Do we want to be miserable? Do we want to be all of these things that we are? You know? So anyway, y'all, I'll let you go. Take care of yourselves. I got to go to the bathroom. So later on.